We are back at the win for part 2 of this session, and I'm currently already up $300 at this point. We're going to be playing some 2-5, sometimes with a $10 straddle on, and one of the next hands I'm going to get dealt, it's going to be a big one. Pocket Kings, the Cowboys, and I'm going to be on the button, so no matter what, I will have position here. Hoping to see some opens in front of me, but unfortunately under the gun is going to be putting in the limp. It's not what I want to see when I have Pocket Kings, but +1 is going to be putting in that ISO here. They bump it up to $20. It does fold all the way around to me on the button, and I'm definitely going to be putting in a 3-bet here. Think about my sizing for a little bit, and I'm going to be bumping it up all the way to $65. Small blind, opponent to my direct left. This is the same guy from the last video that his favorite hand is 6-5, whether it's suited or not. But I doubt they're going to have 6-5 here when they're going for the cold 4-bet with all of this action in front of them. They're going to be re-raising it to $250. That is a massive cold 4-bet. The original limper is going to fold. +1 is going to fold. And we are playing massively deep here. No straddle on this hand. So the big blind is $5. I am going to be sitting here with a little bit over 260 big blinds, and my opponent does have me covered with their 2K stack. After weighing in all of these factors plus some more, I elect this time around against the code 4-bet. I'm just going to be putting in the call. So we're going to go heads up to a flop of 6-3-3, 2 spades. Decent flop here, 4 pocket kings. I am only going to be behind to pocket aces at this point, and if for some reason I do have some backdoor equity with that spade flush draw. Would love if I can turn a spade plus river one, or maybe I can just hit a king and make it even easier, right? Let's see what villain is going to be doing this hand. Looks like they are going to be going for the c-bet here in this cold 4-bet pot. They grab their chips, putting out a small tiny wager of 110, and definitely not going anywhere, of course, with pocket kings. I'm going to be putting in the call. Get a clean turn, dealer. We're going to go to it, and it's going to come my lady, the queen of spades. So good and bad turn, good turn in a sense. Now there's 3 spades on the board. I'm drawing to a king high flush. Bad news, if they randomly have pocket queens, that's going to be a little bit sick here. But the ladies are my favorite hand. They wouldn't betray me. So I am still feeling really good about my holding. And it looks like they're going to be firing that double barrel. I see them loading up the clip here. And they're going to be putting out another bet. This time, their sizing is getting bigger. They're going to be making it $375 to go. And once again, not going anywhere. You already know that. Have to see a river. Keep it clean, dealer. I'm going to be putting in the call. We go to the river, and it's going to come the ace of clubs. Are you kidding me? Good God. What a horrible river. I was feeling like odds are I'm going to have the best hand. Now, at this point, I'm not too sure about it. And I become even less sure about it when my opponent announces he's going to be all in on the river. 6-6-6-6 spot. And yeah, I go into the tank. And I'm tanking. Can my opponent ever bluff here? Were they already bluffing, and then now they hit the ace on the river and they're still going all in? There's so many factors at play here. Just such a ridiculous spot. Before you ladies and gentlemen see what I do at home, let me know what would you have done in this situation in the comments below. Would you fold here, or would you call, or maybe you would have 5-bet pre? I don't know, but let me know in the comments below. And yeah, the tank is going on here. I'll let them know I needed some time. Or more so, let the table know. And I tanked for maybe a minute and a half. After all of the thinking, ranges, this, that, and the third, etc., I elected, you know what? I'm going to lay it down. So I do muck my cards. I don't get to see their cards. They let it go. And I do hear later from them in the session, since we were being friendly and kind with each other, exchanging hands. And they have showed me hands, but they didn't show this one. And like I said, it was later in the session. They did let me know they had King 9 suited Man, oh man, if they really had King 9 suited, that is crazy. What a sick bluff. They said that they were going to shut down on the river if it was a different one, but once the ace came, they just went for it anyway. I do believe this particular player is capable. I have seen them get out of line a little bit and be in line. They have mixed up their game pretty well. So yeah, if they really did have it, I stand by my opponent. Good bluff. You got me. I guess I folded the best hand, but hey, what am I going to do in that spot? Very shitty, but just going to have to move on to the next hand. All right, let's start to turn things around now. We're going to get dealt Queen 6 suited, have a lady in my hand, let's get it, and the straddle is going to be on by yours truly. It's going to fold to my opponent and cut off. They're going to be finding that open here, 3x1 to be exact. They make it $30 to go. Folds all the way around to me in the straddle. I'm going to be defending, of course. I put in a call. So we're going to go heads up to a flop of ace 2 king, 2 spades. That's a decent flop here. I am drawing to the queen high flush. That's going to be the second nuts on the board. It would be even the stone cold nuts if I end up turning or rivering the king of spades. And I do also have some backdoor equity with runner for a straight. Yeah, it's very hard to hit that, but hey, any additional equity is fine with me. Not being a pre-flop aggressor here, I'm going to start off with a check in the straddle. I see my opponent start to grab chips. They're going to be firing a c-bet here. A pretty decent size one at that. They make it $50 to go. And I think about it for a little bit. What do I want to do here? Do I want to call? Or do I want to do something else more fun? Yeah, I like option number 2. A little bit more fun. Let's put some more money in the middle. I'm going to be going for that check rizzle here on the flop. Let's put some pressure on them. And I'm going to be raising it up all the way to 175. And on the flop, they are already going into the tank. Pretty crazy, but hey, it's happening. Takes them 20, 30 seconds. But finally, they are going to be putting in a call. I don't know what they were tanking and thinking about. Maybe they wanted to put in a 3-bet on the flop. I don't know, but it was a little bit odd here to see it take this long for some flop play. But now we're going to go to the turn and it's going to come the 9 of spades. That's what I'm fucking talking about. We now have the second nuts. Now all I need to do here is keep building the pot and hoping that the reason my opponent tanks so long on the flop is that they're never going to be folding the turn. Thinking about my sizing for a bit here. We are playing deep. I want to stack my opponent this hand. So I start grabbing my chips, loading up the clip, about to fire the barrel after that check rizzle, and I'm going to be putting out a wager of $250. Unfortunately, after a couple of seconds, they're going to be laying down. I don't know what the hell they take so long with on the flop, and then now they're just going to be folding that quick on the turn. Kind of annoying. What can you do? But hey, at least I win the pot. We already got some money back from that pocket king's hand. And of course, I had a lady in my hand, the best card in the deck. She always brings me luck. We're going to get dealt a lady again. This time it's going to be ace queen offsuit and small blind position. And the $10 straddle is going to be on. However, for some odd reason, looks like we're going to have some limpers. Under the gun is going to be putting in a limp. And 2 people in middle position are going to be limping $10 as well. Gets to my opponent on the button. They're going to be raising it up here, though. They're ISOing, but it's going to be a small one. They only make it $50 to go. And I decide I'm going to be going for that 3-bet squeeze here. I did notice my opponent on button is a little bit short here on chips. They only have roughly a $500 and something stack, but I'm still going to go for the squeeze here. Think about my sizing, and I'm going to be making it $180. Yes, a massive one. It does fold all the way back around to the original limper. They're going to fold. Both limpers in middle position are going to fold. And then my opponent on button is going to announce he's going to be all in. Oh my goodness. Not what I wanted to hear. And they start to tell me, Brandon, you could just fold. This person was being friendly with me at the table. We were talking, just chopping it up since they sat down recently. And they were telling me to fold. They said, if you have aces, you have me beat. Well, yeah, I mean, if anybody has aces, they have somebody beat, right? But hey, they were trying to just let me know they have a hand. And I'm sitting there like, oh man, I put in 180. They jam for 565. Is it really that much more? I have ace queen. I mean, if I'm behind, maybe I have a 3-outer. Do I really want to fold to only 3x jam? And I'm thinking about it as they are pretty much telling me to just lay down my cards. But hey, maybe I should have listened. Maybe I shouldn't listen. I don't know. But I decide finally, I'm not listening to them. I'm still going to be putting in the call. And I see them turn over pocket kings. That's not what I want to see here. But hey, I have 3 outs. Let's see if I can find an ace. Let's go straight to the run out.
Clubs there? How many clubs you got?
And that was a beautiful run out there. So close on the turn with it coming with the club. Just needed one more, or I could have hit an ace on the river to take it down. But unfortunately, couldn't find it. I practically gifted this player extra money. So I guess, hey, somebody tells you to fold at the table and you were friendly with them, maybe you should just fold. Rough spot. Did have some equity though, but just couldn't find it. Gonna have to move on to the next one. Not the best hand, but I have 9-8 offsuit in the $10 straddle. We're putting it on again. And it's gonna fold to my opponent in low jack. They're gonna be finding at 3.5x open, switching it up a little bit. They make it $35 to go. Hijack's gonna be putting in the call, and it folds all the way around to me in the straddle. I'm gonna be defending. I flick in the call as well. So we're gonna be going 3 ways to a flop of 4, 10, 6, 2 diamonds. Do have the 9 of diamonds in my hand, and I'm drawing kind of okay. I mean, very mediocre here. Not even mediocre, it's just really bad. But I am drawing to the nuts. 7 could roll off, preferably a 7 from heaven that isn't a diamond, and I would be really happy. And not being a pre-flop aggressor here, I'm going to start out with a check. The original aggressor pre in low jack, they're going to be firing out a bet here. They make it 85 to go. And 85 is a massive bet here. Multi-way, just massive. And villain and hijack's going to be putting in the call. With them putting it in, I mean, I'm drawing to it. I got to try to hit it right. So I take my chips and I put in a call too. So it's still going to be 3-handed, going to the turn, and it's going to come a beautiful 7 from heaven, the 7 of spades. Let's get it. I just turned the stone cold nuts. It cannot get any better than this. I am hoping that they continue to put money in this pot. I'm going to be checking my option. Unfortunately, low jack is going to check. I'm like, please, hijack, put some money in. And they don't. They're going to be checking back. Not what I want to hear. Let's hope we can keep the river clean. We're going to go to it, and it comes the jack of spades. No problem. I still have the nuts. I want to get paid here. So I think about my sizing for a bit. Haven't got to do this yet for this video. But I'm going to be going for the over bet. Let's get it. I grab my chips and I'm going to be firing out 5 hundo on this river. And villain and low jack goes into the tank. This is pretty good here. Exactly what I want. Not getting a snap fold. Looks like they are considering putting money into the pot. I'm like, please call, please call. But after a minute goes by, they are going to be laying it down. And hijack immediately folds behind them. The person in low jack did proceed after this hand to call me a nit. And this happens to me once in a blue every now and then. But yeah, I mean, I know I'm pretty much not a nit. I believe most people who watch me know that I'm not a nit. So yeah, just really unfortunate. Daddy had this read on me. I guess he just put me on the exact hand I had. I don't know how, but hey, what can you do? At least I did manage to take down the pot, and I did hit a gutter after all. Come on now. Can't complain. Are you serious? I get dealt pocket kings, the Cowboys.
I'll never get tired of this video. It's beautiful.
Again, in small blind with the straddle on. This is the 3rd time for the session that I have been dealt this hand. Pretty insane. Card distribution is crazy for me right now, but I'm loving it. And under the gun is going to be finding that open here. They make it $30 to go. Goes all the way around to me in small blind. I'm going to be putting in that 3-bet here, and I'm going to be bumping up all the way to 160. My friend in big blind, we have been battling. And looks like they don't believe 160 is enough again. I mean, this guy with these 4 bets, this everything. But hey, he's going for it. He's putting in that code 4-bet again. And he's going to be re-bumping it up all the way to $475. Under the gun oddly goes into the tank for about 20 or 30 seconds. And then they finally lay down their cards. And now this time around, we have a completely different situation than that last time. that I had the Cowboys. I am sitting only with 1,300. This code 4 is a lot bigger. So if all these factors playing in and other things, I'm going to be going for it this time. Y'all know what time it is. It's an on demand. I'm going to be going all in with the Cowboys. And my opponent snap calls. Oh man, not fun when somebody snap calls and you have pocket kings. But hey, you're kind of just hoping to be ahead. He doesn't flip it over. So let's go straight to the run out. Oh, like a snapper. Oh, nah, man. Believe it or not, we're chopping. Oh my God. I thought I was dead. And I guess the run out didn't matter. Y'all saw my opponent turn over his hand. Middle of the hand, he turned over pocket kings as well. And he angrily turned it over because he had started to lose some money back to a lot of people at the table. So he was a bit upset and he just thought that he was dead to the ace. I'm not gonna lie, when the ace came, I thought I was dead too. I was not fully confident with my pocket kings anymore. And I was relieved when they turn over pocket kings. And as they're getting up and walking back, you can hear me tell them it's just gonna be a chop. So hey, no complaints. I would rather chop kings against kings than run kings into aces. And hey, technically, I still made money from that hand because under the gun opened $30. So hey, profit's profit. Got a king again. This time only one of them. I'm going to get dealt king 8 suited in the straddle again. A lot of straddle hands by me today, right? But majority of the table is straddling, so it's cool, no problem. And filling in under the gun, the one who called me a nit, by the way, is going to be opening to $35. Folds all the way around to me in the straddle. And yeah, definitely going to be defending with king 8 suited. I elect to put in a call. So we're going to go heads up to a flop of 6-5 ace, 2 diamonds. That's what I'm talking about. I have the king high flush draw, which is going to be the stone cold nuts if I can find any diamond on the turn or the river with the ace of diamonds being on the board. And I do have some additional backdoor equity, 2 straights, if a 7 or a 9 came, or if a 4 or 7 came. So I don't have a pair yet, but I can for damn sure make a really good hand. And I'm going to be starting out with a check. They're going to be firing out a big bet again on the flop, which is expected. They did this last time, right? They make it $65 to go. And hey, they called me a nit last time I had it. So now I'm going to show them how much of a nit I am by putting in that check Rizzo on the flop. No made hand yet. I'm going to be going for it here. I'm going to be putting on massive pressure on them with this sizing. I'm going to be raising it all the way up to 240, a massive check Rizzo. And it only takes a couple of seconds. They're going to be folding and proceeding to call me a nit again. And I'm not going to show them my cards. Just keep believing I'm a nit. That's no problem. Definitely just going to keep helping me out for the session. Still pocket pair city. I'm going to get dealt pocket 5s in low jack position. No straddle's going to be on this time, unfortunately. So it is going to fold to me. Just going to have to do a normal 3x open here. I make it $15 to go. Hijack's going to fold and cut off. The same person who's been calling me a nit is going to be putting in that 3-bet. Looks like their sizing is continuing to be massive. They're going to be bumping it all the way to $85. Are you kidding me? All I did was make it 15 and then they're making it 85. Holy shit. But hey, no problem here. It is going to fold back around to me. We are playing a little bit deep here. I know the sizing is big, but maybe I can spike a 5. Who knows? I'm going to be putting in the call. So we're going to be going heads up to a flop of 5-10-3 rainbow. Now that is a sexy flop. I just hit second best set. Love to see it. And it's a rainbow board. No flush draws to worry about. Just please have aces or kings so that I can stack you. It would be even more beautiful to stack somebody that's calling you a net, right? And with them 3-betting pre, I'm going to start out with a check. And they're going to be firing out a bet here. This time, finally, no big sizer on flop. They're going to do a small wager. They just make it $65 to go. And at this point, I decided to be extremely smart about this situation. The view and image villain had on me at the table was that I'm a nit. Sometimes can you call here? Yes. Sometimes can you check raise here? Yes. But if they think I'm a nit, am I really ever going to just start check raising? No. Why would I do that? I'm a nit. They might even fold aces. No, that would be insane. They're not going to fold aces, but still, I want to keep them in as long as possible with my set here. So instead of check raising this time around, I elect to just put in a call. And we're going to go to the turn, and it comes a rubber ducky, 2 of spades, kind of a blank. I mean, kind of not a blank if they did 3-bet some 6-4 suited, which would be insane. But ace-4 suited also makes it straight as well. I'm going to be putting in a check, just hoping that they continue to barrel. And they do just that. They're grabbing their chips and they're firing out a massive bet finally. They make it $250, and I do go into the tank for a little bit. I mean, not too long, like 20 to 30 seconds, just thinking about my options here. I do see all of the draws starting to come in. I know there's going to be some bad rivers for me, but it's okay, everybody. It's okay. I'm a nit. I'm going to be setting a trap here. I elect once again to just put in the call. And we're going to go to the river, and holy shit, it's the 5 of clubs. Oh, baby. I just rivered the stone cold nuts, and it's quads. In fucking sane. Please put more money into this pot. I do check, and I'm just hoping and praying. Put some damn money in this pot so I can go all in, or go all in yourself. Do something. 10 seconds goes by, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And yeah, they just check back. And I'm like, oh man. I turn over my quads and they muck their cards. And the funny thing is, I did win this hand, and I did have a conversation with my opponent. They didn't necessarily take back all of the nit remarks, but after playing with me at the table for about 2 hours or so, seeing me play hands against other players and what I was doing, etc., they did finally come out and say, you are a pretty good player at the table. I do like your style and how you're playing. I was like, great, thanks. So yeah, kind of sort of took away the nit remarks. I'll take the compliment. As y'all know, I'm always working on my game consistently, even when I'm not at the tables. But hey, have you ever rivered quads or flopped quads against your opponent? Did you get paid? Let me know about it in the comments below. And come on, the odds of hitting quads is so low. But what are the odds of you hitting the sub button because I rivered quads? I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see. Back to having a lady in my hand. No, I'm deadly with it, so let's get it. I get dealt Queen Jack suited, the diamond variety, in low jack position. No straddle on once again, but I'm going to be finding that open, of course. 3x open to be exact. I make it $15 to go. Goes all the way to my opponent on the button. They're going to be putting in the call. Small blind calls, and big blind is going to be putting in the call. So we have like a half family pot thing going on here. We're going to be going 4 ways to a flop, and it's going to come 10 ace 8 rainbow. I love this flop here. I have a double gutter to the nuts here. That's pretty good. And I have some backdoor equity with there being 1 diamond on the board as well. Just a really good spot in poker when you're drawing to the best hand possible, because you can hit your hand and somebody else has a hand and then you start stacking them. That's the plan here. Let's see what we can do. Small blind's going to check. Big blind's going to check. I know I am the aggressor pre, but there's only 1 person behind me. So I decide, you know what? I'm just going to check my option. Let's see what they do on button. After a couple of seconds, they're going to be checking too. So we have a check party on the flop. Now we're going to go to the turn, and it comes the 7 of diamonds. That is a very nice turn. So not only am I double gutted, I am now drawing to a queen high flush. Small blind's going to be checking. Big blind puts out a bet here. They make it $50 to go. And it is on me, and I have 2 players stacked behind me once big blind's going to be betting here. And I think about my options here. I could call, get to a river for free, and then put in some money when I have a hand. Or I can do something more fun, which is put in money now when I don't have a hand. Yes, I like that option better. I'm going to be going for it here with the raise in position to big blind's bet. It's going to be a massive one again. And I'm going to be raising all the way. Yes, all the way up to $270. Holy shit, that is a big raise. Let's see what my opponents think about it. Button is going to fold. Small blind is going to fold. I mean, both of those players pretty much snap folded. Big blind does go into the tank for a bit. I guess they must have a decent hand. But after about 30 seconds, they're going to be laying it down. And after they do, somebody at the table did ask me, why so big? I can't call. And I said, just basically mumbled, put my hands up in the air. I mean, I'm not going to say exactly what I had, right? That would be insane. Yeah, we want to find out what I have. I already know. You can always check it out on this YouTube channel. But hey, what a hell of a way to take down a massive pot without even making my hand. Can't make this up. I cannot believe it. I am getting dealt pocket kings for the 4th time in one day. I don't think I've ever been dealt pocket kings 4 times in one day. It's pretty insane. But yes, we have the Cowboys again. And it's going to be in big blind, a beautiful big blind special with the $10 straddle on. And it's going to fold around to villain and cutoff. They're going to be finding open here. They make it $30 to go. Button's going to be putting in the call. Small blind's going to fold. And yes, of course, I'm raising it here. I'm going for that sexy 3-bet squeeze, and I'm going to be raising it up all the way to $180. Straddle takes a little bit to do this, and it's this same 6'5 offsuit guy. Just loves to battle me. He does put in the 3-bet cold call. Kind of surprising here. Kind of surprising after all of those cold 4 bets, but they're just calling this time. And it does get back to cutoff, and cutoff has a decision here to make, but it looks like they're going to be folding. And button is going to be letting it go as well. So we're going to be going heads up to a flop of 2 10-6, 2 spades. Beautiful flop here, 4 pocket kings. I'm looking pretty good. I haven't over-paired to all the cards on the board. I am slightly worried about my opponent having pocket 10s. But hey, if they do, they might win a lot of money. Let's just hope they don't. I still am going to be going for a C-bet here. I think about my sizing for a bit. And I am going to be putting out a decent size wager. I make it $250 to go. And after a couple of seconds, they're going to be putting in a call. We go to the turn and it comes the 8 of diamonds. Better than the 8 of spades, of course. No problem. I do not really see my opponent having 9-7 suited. That would be kind of insane. I mean, they have been playing a little bit insane. They've been doing some crazy shit, right? But 9-7 suited cold calling in the straddle, I just don't see it happening. So I do think about my options here, and I do elect to slow it down, being out of position. I decide to check the turn, and after about 20 seconds or so, my opponent announces they're going to check back their top set. That is what they said out loud. I kid you not. They're checking back their top set, and they do just that. So we're going to go to the river, and it's going to come to 3 of diamonds. At least it's not the 3 of spades. It is funny that they said they're going to check back their top set. Made me worry for like a half of a second. But then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, they don't have top set. That would be just insane, right? But to say that and then have it, pretty sick. Well, let's just hope they don't, is the point I'm trying to make. But I am here on the river with pocket kings. It is a pretty safe run out. So, hey, I'm going to be going for a bet. And I don't go for the biggest bet in the world. Do think about my sizing for a bit, and I'm going to put on a small wager of $300. My opponent goes into the tank, and as we approach and pass the 20 and 30 second point, they no longer have pocket 10s top set, because they probably would have went all in by now. And we do hit the point that it's a minute or so, and finally they do muck their cards, and they let me know that they were considering going all in on the river. And I did let them know if they went all in, I would have been snap calling you. So, hey, it would have been nice if they did, but they didn't. I still do take down another pot with pocket kings. And it's going to be time for a bomb pot. If you're unfamiliar with this, we're going to be playing No Limit Hold'em at the win. It's going to be a 1-board bomb pot. Each player is going to be putting in $25 before seeing the flop. So pretty much 5 big blinds. And yes, I mean, honestly, I cannot even believe it or imagine it, but it is happening. I have pocket kings for the 5th time in one session. What the flying fuck is this? It's just, oh man, it's just crazy. And we're going to be going 6 ways to a flop of 6 king 3, 2 hearts. So not only do I get pocket kings for the 5th time, I flop top set. I am ahead to any hand in this bomb pot. Just got to find a way to hold the baby. Just got to hold the baby here. Ranges are infinite in bomb pots. Everybody at this table can have anything. But let's just hope somebody has a set of 3s or a set of 6s and I'll be happy. Small blind's going to be put in the check. Big blind's going to check. Low jack checks. And I'm in hijack here. I'm going to be putting out a bet. I'll make it $50. My best friend, I guess at this point, he's in cutoff. He's going to be putting in a call. Button's going to fold, small blind folds, big blind folds, and low jack folds. And while this was happening, my camera did run out of footage space, but I still did manage to get the entire hand. We're going to be going heads up to the turn, and it's going to come to 4 of diamonds. Oh man, in a bomb pot, that is not good. There are now straights possible. They can have 5-2 or they can have 7-5. 7-5 is one of my favorite hands. It is my 4th favorite hand. Some other hands have taken over at this point, but that would be sick if they do have that. I am a little bit worried here. Completely different from that 9-7 suited spot, because now they can have all the straights in this bomb pot. So with that being said, I am going to be checking turn, and I see him start to barrel here. Yes, they're going to be putting in a bet. They grab their chips, and they're going to be making it $300 to go. There is also a heart flush draw on board from the flop, and there are some very terrible rivers. But even with all of that, I'm still just going to be putting in the call. And we're going to go to the river, and it comes the 3 of spades. We just boated up. I have the second nuts. I am only losing to quad 3s. If you have quads, as usual, what do I say? Take all my money, because that's what's going to happen. But I'm more so hoping they just have a straight, or they do have pocket 6s. Hey, maybe they even have king 3. That would be wild, right? And I am here on the river. I'm going to be checking, hoping that my opponent does fire another bet here. After 10-15 seconds, they are going to be doing just that, and it's going to be a massive one. They fire out $1,050 on the river, and that's exactly what I wanted to see, because y'all already know what time it is. It's going to be an on-demand moment. I am all in on the river, trying to get paid here, and within a second or two, they're going to be laying it down. They did let me know they turned the straight. So unfortunately, with that board pair, they did not feel their hand was good anymore. They didn't think I could possibly be bluffing. Yes, this time they were right. They do make the correct fold. But hey, what a river here. Pocket Kings, the Cowboys, have been killing it today. What another beautiful hand. And even better, it was a bomb pot. And what a beautiful ending there to that session. Here are the results. In part 1, I was already up $300. And now for the second half of the session, added on to part 1, we're going to be finishing up $1,720, 3.5 buy-ins at 2-5 at the win. And if you enjoyed this session, you're definitely going to enjoy part 1. So make sure you check out some more cash game action here.